Welcome to our Google Plus Hangout on membership. We're hanging out today with state advisor, an association advisor, a chapter advisor, and members, as well as a former chapter advisor and DECA staff. So we hope to share with you some really cool ideas about membership and how to promote your DECA chapter to a variety of audiences to help with membership recruitment. I'm Chris Young, the High School Division Director at DECA, and I will introduce our panelists or joining us today. I'll start with our chapter advisor, Gregory Epps from Texas DECA, and he has 2 members. So if you want to say hi and introduce your DECA members, that'd be great.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm Greg Epps from Clements High School in Texas. I've got my co-president, Jenny, with me, and also my treasurer, Brandon, here with me, who's going to be listening in.
Hello.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us. I'd also like to introduce our association advisor from Virginia, Ryan Witzig.
Hello.
And I'd like to welcome Sandy Tucker, who's a former chapter advisor and joined our staff as assistant high school division director.
Thank you all for joining us today.
So both Greg and Sandy were part of chapters last year that earned the highest level in our membership campaign. So we've invited them to talk with us today about some membership recruitment ideas. And Ryan oversees and leads Virginia DECA, which is our largest association in terms of membership. And they made quite a few strides this past year to reach some new goals and set some new records. So we'll be excited to hear about some of the strategies they used. But I'd like to start with our chapter advisor, Greg, to talk a little bit about your chapter and how you motivate students to join DECA and kind of your culture. So can you share a little bit about your chapter with us, please?
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. You know, the thing that I've realized, I've only been an advisor for 5 years now, but everything for us starts before school starts. And we get together as an officer group, which I'm lucky enough to have 2 here with me. And we have a meeting in the summer, and that meeting is going to lay out all the roles of the officers. But one of the things that I find big on membership is designing a t-shirt. And so I turn it over to the kids, and I let them design a fun, lively t-shirt that is going to be kind of a gender-neutral t-shirt that has a little bit of Clements to it. It shows off our hometown and incorporates the DECA logo in it as well. And so we did that early on because I think when a kid joins DECA that we want to be able to give them a shirt right away. So having the shirts ordered and ready to go was a big help for our membership, as well as having a fun shirt that a lot of the kids wanted to wear. The other thing that I like about the shirts is I give all of them to the staff here at the school. So we've got about 150, 200 staff and teachers, and I give everyone a shirt. And they get to wear that shirt. The only thing I ask of them is to put a flyer up in their room that talks about DECA. They know where they can come join DECA. They learn about what DECA is about. And the teachers have the shirts, so they enjoy DECA. And they're easy. They're okay with putting up a flyer for me that teaches the kids, or at least gives them the chance to learn a little bit more about DECA. I give you a few other things that we do as well. One of the other big things that we do is we have different goals set. So throughout the day, I'm pushing to my kids to join DECA, but we have different levels. One of them is 250. So at 250 members, we throw a big party for them and do all these different cookies and things for them. When we get to 500, which we just got to a few weeks ago, we threw a snow cone day, and we catered in a snow cone truck to come to the parking lot. So everybody that had their DECA shirt on got to go out, and they got to get a free snow cone. And one of the things that does is when the kids come back in to lunch and they've got their DECA shirt on and they've all got these shaved ice snow cones, it gets people excited. It generates a buzz for us, and it gets people asking, hey, I want a snow cone. I want to get what you're getting. And we've gotten a lot of new memberships because of that. I guess let me tell a few more. I guess one of the other ones that we do is we do a DECA day at the Rockets, and we take about 150 kids to for the day. So we're out of school and we go down and we listen to executives at our NBA team here in Houston, and they talk about different things that their job entails. They talk about opportunities, internships. We tour the facilities. We learn about sports management, sports marketing. Then we go and we usually try to go do a service project. This past year we were able to go do Build-A-Bears for our Texas service project. And then we go back to the game, and we actually get to sit as a group and watch a game with other DECA members around the state. So they get to go do something fun and get some education, some learning at the same time, and the kids love that. Like I said, I get about 150 that go to that, and that always bumps up our membership. And some of the other advisors around, they use that as well as a tool to encourage kids to take a learning opportunity and be able to go have fun at the same time. We also do a thing every Wednesday where we do a question and answer. So every Wednesday in my class, they come in and they ask me questions, they ask the officers questions, and they learn a little bit about DECA. That goes right along with a display case that we have that has all our information on it, our calendars, our website. It has pictures from our past winners, and it gives people a little bit of an opportunity to see what DECA is about. And I'm going to share one more, Chris, with you, and then I guess we'll go back to some questions. But I think of myself as a recruiter in a way, and I try very hard to seek out certain students that I know are in different groups. I like to find kids that are in the band, kids that are on the football team, the cheerleading, kids that are in National Honor Society, and I go out and I find certain kids that I really want in DECA, and I encourage them to join, and then I go to them and I say, I need you to bring in other people that are like you and that would enjoy this and are business oriented, and they do that, and we get a lot of great response from pulling certain keys out of different groups in the school. So we do that, and it works real well.
Awesome. It really sounds like you've created a culture of DECA at your school, from members to your officers to even your fellow teachers, which is great. It's kind of a school-wide thing, and I really like the idea of having that t-shirt ready to go, because it's that tangible piece. We moved to that with the membership pins this year, so that those chapters who were getting members signed up early could actually give them that tangible membership item. So you guys took it a step further with the t-shirt, which is really cool too.
Hey, Chris, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
We had the opportunity, one of the other sponsors came to me this year, and they were short on some money and needed some help, and we got together as a group, and we offered to sponsor their shirts and their club. And so part of the deal we had, the marketing deal we had with them, is we're going to pay for your shirts and take care of your shirts. You just have to put "Sponsored by DECA" on it. And so that was our pep out, our pep rally. That was our run. We call it a run-through crew, but our cheerleaders that aren't cheerleaders at the games and the sports. So they all have shirts on that we sponsored from DECA that say "Sponsored by DECA." And being able to do little things like that, the kids see it in school and the teachers see it, and they go, man, thank you so much for helping the other groups. And I mean, we're marketing for ourselves, but we like helping out, just like I'm sure everybody else does. It's a great way for us to give back and get some more positive attention for our group.
Yeah, definitely. That's another good idea to market yourselves. I do have just a couple of questions, and maybe your officers can pitch in a little bit. But what do you think your role as officers is in terms of helping grow the chapter and engaging members to, keep them active within your chapter?
Jenny, you go.
Well, as an officer team, we made a goal for each officer to get as many members as we can. And on average, we had about every officer bring in about 20 people. We have 17 officers. So when you add it all up, 17 times about 20, 25 people, it comes out to be about 300 members. So if just by the officers making an effort by themselves, we got that far. And just having a close-knit officer group, really encouraged us and like pushed us forward to getting a good leap in the beginning of our school year. Anything else?
Definitely as officers, we try to push out information as in-depth through all the groups as we can at our school, whether it be through athletes and different social media websites. We put us on Facebook, we have Twitter, we have our main Clemens DECA accounts, and then we also do it where we retweet it through our own personal accounts. We get out to our own personal individual friend groups in our circles so that we can get as many people involved as possible.
And we also have a texting tree established where each officer is allocated to a certain letter group of members. So let's say I would have like members from J through K involved, and every time we need to send out a mass text message, we send it out to every single person on our phone that follows that letter requirement. And then this text message system, this tree, really helps because not only does it get members to get information right on their phone as soon as possible, but also gives them the opportunity to reply back with any questions. So it gives like a one-on-one interaction between any officer and any member. We're always there for questions, and we're always readily available if anybody ever needs anything.
Chris, we were struggling a lot in the last few years of being able to communicate with our group. And being over 500 members, it's real hard for us to talk to them and be able to get information out. And that's something that we just started doing this year that we found already is just incredible. We've had a lot of positive feedback from the members saying, thank you for the information, thank you for getting that to us. They know when the meetings are, they know when we're doing service projects and volunteer, all because of the officers putting together that texting tree and getting. That's how the kids communicate. And that's how they want to be. That's how they want to be communicated to. So that's what we do.
Awesome. Yeah, it's amazing how big of a role social media has played, but it really does help communication among your chapter as well as promotion too. As you talked about, you have your personal Twitter and Facebook accounts, and when you share that information, it goes out to the larger network. That's not just the DECA circle that you might have, which is a very cool way to communicate and promote DECA as well. So thank you. It sounds like you guys have a really good plan that you started in the summer, and I think for many chapters, depending on no matter what your size of your school or chapter is, a lot of those great ideas you can take back and scale them so that they work for your chapter and your needs as well. I want to talk with Sandy for just a little bit because she just joined us from the classroom, and last year her chapter made it quite a big goal to recruit alumni and professional members, and alumni and professional members do help count towards your membership number, but she and her chapter had some very well thought out plans to make that happen. So Sandy, can you share with us a little bit about how you went about recruiting all your alumni and professional members last year, please?
Sure. One of the biggest pushes for us, I was in Virginia, and we're limited to the students who are enrolled in our classes as to who can be in DECA. So, we had some class goals. If 100% of the class joined, we had pizza parties, those type of things. But we started to realize that we were going to cap out eventually, and so we started to look at options for bringing in the alumni and the professionals, and we really had never focused too much on this in the past, knowing that we were meeting our membership goals. And so it was DECA that kind of helped us push that direction. And I was able to get some resources from another teacher in our county who shared quite a bit of information. And one of those productive tools was a simple professional member letter. It was just a letter that they had drafted. We adapted it for our program, got it in the hands of our officer team. Our officer team was dedicated to bringing in 5 professional members each. Last year we also had 17 chapter officers, and they went out and got neighbors, friends, parents, grandparents, teachers, whoever they could find to join DECA just with a simple letter. And we asked for a $20 donation for our chapter. We paid their dues out of that, and then a little bit of it went back into our chapter funds. It netted us, we went from 10 to, I believe, 65 professional members last year. It was a huge jump for us. The next step was looking at our alumni. We had not tapped into that yet, so we really started to reach out to, and we were a fairly new school. We were in our 9th year last year, so we didn't have too much alumni from our school, but we started to look into that as well. And so our alumni members went up. I think those two tools, we also added to the registration form for our chapter. We have an actual form because, like Greg, like you said, we were a smaller chapter. At one point last year, we got up to over 300 members for the first time ever. We had never been above 200. So we went from 181 to 301 in a year, and it was because of this push with our professional alumni. But we added to our registration form on the back a place where parents could join as well. So when parents or students are filling out their form and the student has to go to their parent, ask for the membership dues for another $20, the parent can become a professional member. They're registered with us. They're eligible to be a chaperone on our trips. They're eligible to be class speakers. They can help come and judge and proctor for our local events. It became this really nice partnership. So I think just those two documents really enhanced what we were doing, and it was just something so simple. So if anybody wants those, well, I'm happy to share them. I got them from somebody else. It wasn't something I created, but it made a huge difference. And like I said, in Virginia, we have some restrictions on who can be in DECA, but that really kind of opened the door for something we hadn't been thinking about. So, and I love the idea of the T-shirts. We were doing that. We created our T-shirts in May, so we had them when we had membership started in August, September. But I had never really thought about giving them to the staff. We give them to the administrators. So that's kind of a cool idea. I'm curious, Greg, how many T-shirts did you have to produce?
A lot. I think we're somewhere in the 750 right now that we've bought. So we do a lot of stuff with DECA images. I want to show one to you because the kids, I'm so proud of them. They went out and got the digital license and paid for it and the copyrights, and they took the skyline from Houston and they incorporated the Thrive logo on one of the buildings, and they sat and designed this. And to do that, and they picked a color that would stand out in front of the group. But yeah, we did about 200 or so for the teachers. But it's, I try to tell the kids it's an investment. We're making an investment to get the staff on our side and the teachers on our side to help promote us.
I think that's an amazing idea. I had never, let me turn my volume up here. I had never considered doing that, probably because it was a financial purchase, but it's really cool. One of the other incentives that we had, and I don't think that's going to go over well this year, and Brian probably knows, we always had a Capitals national hockey game that we went to as an incentive. If they joined by a certain date, they were eligible to buy the tickets for that. And without a hockey this year, I'm not sure that that's going to be a good idea. So we got to come up with something else, but I'm sure they're working on it already. But yeah, our big two things were, we also instituted a more aggressive social media campaign through Facebook, and that was huge. And following on, you were talking about having like a phone tree. Our chapter did something similar where they had what they call DECA families, where each officer was responsible for a group of members, and their job was to communicate them through texting and through Facebook and do more of a personal invitation to events and activities. And we held a picnic for anybody who was in a marketing class to see what DECA was about early in the year. So all those recruiting tools made a difference, but we were doing things like you did, but on a much smaller scale. So I love the fact that you have such a huge chapter. That's very inspiring.
Very cool. Thank you, both. So Ryan, back to you. Tell us why membership is so important at the association level, and what you've done in the past couple of years to bring the energy to your chapter advisors and encourage them to grow their membership and grow the association.
Well, I think the biggest motivation and incentive is that we get additional slots at ICDC when you do increase your membership. And DECA has a set number. I'm going to throw out 50. Is that correct, Chris?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So for every 50 members, you get another allocation slot. And I know in a year like Anaheim, that's got to be a huge motivator. I probably have talked to 1,200 DECA members in the last couple of weeks, and they all think they're going. Obviously, they're not, but it's a motivator to get more members in their chapter. And as a chapter advisor, you have to consider that might be your student who gets that additional slot at ICDC. So every member counts. It doesn't matter if it's big or small chapters. as long as you're doing your part. We set a standard in Virginia at 10% that we want you to raise to go up, and we have many, many chapters that exceed that. You also have to remember that as a chartered association advisor, the more members I have, the more activities and the more resources I have to give back to you. I have a lot more capabilities in terms of good prices and people wanting to partner with us. And a pretty general incentive is that we get more exposure. The more kids you help, the more kids you affect, they're going to spread that word. I mean, you can talk to many advisors that will tell you that they have families. So they have their brothers and their sisters, and then a couple of years later, they have more siblings come through. And more specifically, things that we've done in Virginia to motivate chapter advisors is we do a simple thing called DECA Superstars at our state conference. You get a glow star, and it makes your chapter stand out. We added 2 levels to that. We have what we call the Platinum chapter now, and we give them a special gift. And this makes them stand out even more so. So they get their star, they get their gift, and kids start asking what makes them different. Well, what makes them different is that they've added alumni or professional members, because as Sandy alluded to, we kind of hit a ceiling sometimes, and you have to go out and think outside the box, and you can think about alumni and professionals in that matter. We also, this year, are attempting to do special seating at our state conference. Seating is a high priority when you want to be the closest. I know some of my fellow Chartered Association advisors already have this implemented, and it works really well for them. I think that overall, what has worked for me is just giving back to my advisors, whether it's recognition on our website, whether it's a tangible gift, or if it's giving them more resources. That's what's really made them push the limit. We also wanted to break new ground. We set our limit at 15,000. That's our goal, and chapters seem to be motivated to help reach that. Everybody knows that this year they have to get 10 more members, and we can do it as a team, and that team philosophy has also helped our state.
Excellent, and I think that's right. You know, there's always that goal of being the biggest and the best, but the reality is it takes everyone to get there. So even those chapters who might not be in the hundreds or the 300s or 500s, everyone really does their part to make it happen. And I know that sometimes things can be difficult with growing membership and creating that excitement, but you know, the enthusiasm of your advisors and the enthusiasm of your officer team can really help make that happen. And I think both Greg and Sandy shared some great ideas to help motivate the staff and kind of get them on DECA's side so that they're also promoting DECA, maybe not necessarily as actively, but even with a t-shirt showing that support's a great idea. We do have some opportunities for recognition. Ryan alluded to the fact that Chartered Association advisors, the allocations to ICDC are based on membership, and so when there is a membership increase, that means more students can attend ICDC in terms of competitive events and some of the other areas. But we also have some recognition pieces for our local chapters through our membership campaign. And so I'm going to throw it back to Sandy, who's working with our membership campaign this year, to share a little bit about how local chapters can earn some instant recognition pretty soon.
All right, well, some of your opportunities, your membership, we'd love to have it in by November 15th. Your deadline's November 30th. As you know, if you get 20 more chapter members than last year, or 20 alumni, or 20 professional members, you're going to get recognized with a, I believe it's this one's a pennant and a certificate. But I think the cool part this year, they've made this campaign so easy, and I got excited as an advisor when I saw it last year because it didn't set a cap for me, it didn't set a ceiling, and knowing that I have options. This year it's not 20 across the board in all 3 categories. You have the choice. If you can get 20 more members than you had last year, or 20 alumni and 20 professionals, any 2 of those 3 options, you're going to get not just your pennant certificate, you're going to get a plaque, you're going to get a DECA flag, which I know my chapter needed a new one because we had the old one. I got excited about that. But going to the Thrive Academy, we have this all-new academy this year at ICDC that is really going to help support your members in understanding how to take DECA to the next level back at your chapter. You'll get to send 3 members to this Thrive Academy, and this is the easiest way I know of to get to do something really cool and fun and get to ICDC. So I'm really excited about it because I get to, when I see all your membership come in, I get to look and say, oh my gosh, they get to go, oh, Mr. Young is going to be going crazy because I know I'm going to be reporting to him hundreds and hundreds of students from across the country that are going to be ending up at our Thrive Academy. But we're real excited about that. Chris, did you want to add anything to what we're doing with Thrive?
Yeah, the idea for the Academy is it's going to be a very highly focused opportunity to recognize those chapters who performed very well over the past year in our recognition program. So we're very excited about that. You will want to check with your chartered association advisor to ensure that they are supporting the membership campaign at that level because there are some other factors that go into travel. So they're ultimately the ones that make the registration for the delegation. So they're the best people to ask, but that is the offer that we're willing to make as long as they support it. And we hope to see plenty of people at the new Thrive Academy, and we'll be announcing more details pretty soon about that. So if you do have any other questions about membership or the membership campaign, Sandy's a great resource and we can certainly help you here. I want to open it back up with our experts to see if they have anything else they'd like to add after hearing the discussion and any final comments they might have to make.
I do have one more. If anybody out there has a school-based enterprise, consider contacting your vendors and asking them to be part of your professional membership. That was the one thing that we added last year, we tapped into. We had vendors coming into our classroom to share with us their materials, the products that they wanted us to sell, and we invited them to be a member, and every single one of them said absolutely yes, and they handed us $20, filled out the form, and they became part of our professional membership team. So if you do have a school-based enterprise or you happen to have business professionals coming into your classroom to speak, consider inviting them as a member. My students were the ones that did it. They stood up and said, hey, how would you like to be a member of Dominion DECA? And the vendors said, well, what do I do? So that got us a few more extra professional members as well.
Hey, Chris, I want to add something as well. I know you guys are starting to use Twitter quite a bit. I obviously follow you guys, and I just created one a few months ago. I've really enjoyed it, getting the word out with the Twitter. But some of the things that I do in the classroom is I'll tell the kids we're now able to have phones and different electronics in the class. I tell them to get their phones out, and I say, hey, look, I want everyone to send a tweet out that says, you can still join DECA, come to this room. And they love it. They love having their phones out, and they'll sit and tweet that out, and we go and retweet it from mine personal in our Clements DECA Twitter. But that's a great way because I was doing it from the basketball game and say, here's some of the neat things DECA gets to do, or at volunteer event. And the kids, when they get it, they turn around and send it out to all these other people that are on their friend list. And I think that's a great tool that I know you guys are utilizing. Hopefully people are going to follow you guys and us. But I enjoy doing that. I've had a lot of fun doing that. And I think that meets their level of how they want to be communicated to. And they enjoy getting tweets and tweeting out about different things, hopefully DECA.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the tweets from this Google Hangout came in from actually Holly Norris, who's in Texas and one of our social media correspondents who was excited to be watching. So she's tuning in. And if anyone is interested in becoming a social media correspondent, they can check out our DECA webpage for that. And coming in November, we're going to be launching a new platform with social media and a lot of different ideas called DECA Direct Online. So it's taking our magazine to the next level and providing a lot more resources for members and chapter advisors to use in the classroom and in their DECA chapter. So we're excited about that. It's fully integrated with social media. So we'll be posting, for example, an article about membership recruitment strategies, and it can easily be tweeted or messaged on Facebook, commented through the Facebook onto DECA Direct Online. So about November 15th, we'll have that out there, and it's very exciting. And it'll give us some great opportunities. Cool. Well, I do want to just say one more thing. Keep in mind that every association's membership requirements are a little bit different, so you will want to check with your association advisor about deadlines and eligibility for membership, because it does vary from association to association, and we want to make sure that we're doing what's right in accordance to those policies and procedures. But we're very excited. We've had very good growth within our organization for the past 15 years, and it's a great sign that DECA is a very stable and powerful program that we're able to offer to our members and our advisors. So we're very fortunate to have a great membership base, and we hope to see more growth this year and excitement with DECA. I'd also like to thank our participants for joining us in our Google Hangout, taking time out of their busy day. We do appreciate it, and thanks for sharing your ideas. I know that sometimes membership is a little bit competitive from chapter to chapter and association to association. So thanks for sharing your ideas. I'm sure you have plenty more up your sleeve or things that you're holding on to for the upcoming year, but eventually those secrets will get out, and we'll see where membership is at the end of the year. We also do recognize our top chapter with largest membership at the International Career Development Conference too. So every year we have recognized those chapters. So even if you might not be one of the top ones in the DECA Inc. organization, there is still that opportunity to earn recognition within your association, and then of course our chapter campaign. So thanks to everyone again for joining us, and good luck with membership for the rest of the year. There's still a little bit more time to make some magic happen.
Great. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Good luck to everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.